Hello and welcome back to part 4 of the forge build. In this video I'll be going through how I fabricated the top part of the forge and made the fire pot that sits inside. As you can see, I'm just taking out the form that was holding up the brick archway. Once I put the keystone in and jointing all the gaps with some muck, it was pretty solid. And this is a little Robin stealing some food from Kit. And there's also a present that the cat's left me inside the forge one morning. I had to fire up my mum's old forklift to get this metal because it is in full sheets and it's pretty heavy, so I need a little help. This thing's old but it's still going strong. So this is just some mild steel, about 5mm thick, that I'm going to use for the fire tray. That's the handy thing about a forklift, you've got like a portable workbench wherever you go. I've got to do a bit more welding in the middle because I've got to make it dip down there for the coal and the pipe to come up through. But yeah, I'm just going to score this with the angle grinder and then try and clamp something on there and bend it up. So yeah, we'll get to that now. See what happens. Either the clamps are going to bust or something's going to break in the metal. What was I thinking? This isn't going to bend. Talk about getting every last penny out of that blade. She is vamooshed. I bought these blades off of someone. When I bought them I thought, it's a lot of blades for the price. And now I know why. Because they burn through like butter. And not what you're cutting, I mean the blade. His name was Cecil. He looked like the man from Baron of Munchausen. He was Irish. I think you know where that's going, don't you? Wah! Safety splits. Yeah, so when bending it in the clamps didn't work, the vices I mean, I took to putting it over a bit of timber. It was the same depth, roughly, and then hitting it with a copper hammer.
Well, I need one of those fancy
Works a treat.
metal folding things.
And here starts the painful process of my welding, because I've never really done much welding before. I've done a little bit here and there, but this is the first project where I've actually done a full job of welding, so this was the first point where I started doing it, and as you can see I don't know what I'm doing. and I'm wearing a t-shirt.
So I've got the corners of the tray all welded up. My welding's not very good, but it works. And then this is the fire pot marked out. It's 230. The old Chinese dentist by 300, so it's quite a big fire pot. But the bigger it is, the more you can do. So I made this template, and this is 4 inches by 300 for the sides. I've got to cut those 2 of these out, and then cut 2 out at 230 by 4 inches. Get those welded up, and then put a plate on the bottom. I'm using this plate here because it's actually thicker than the steel I've used for the tray. I think this is like 6mm thick, and this is only 3 or 4mm, so it'll withstand a bit more heat. And then once I've got the fire pot all done, I'm going to weld some of this fabric around it, and that'll make a flange to sit round there and hold it in. And then I'll cut this square out, drop it in, drill a hole in, and we can get going on the air intake then. So yeah, let's get on with that. Got the fire pot all welded up, got a bottom on it. Just going to put this flat bar around the edges to make a flange, so when I cut it through the tray over there, it'll just pop down inside. Job's a good one. So yeah, get this welded up, see where we're at.
And this flat bar that I'm using to weld a flange around the fire pot is actually 10mm thick, so it's even thicker. I should have used some of that for the very underneath of the forge of the fire pot, but you know, it's going to withstand a lot of heat anyway, so it's a minor issue. But here you go, cleaning up some rust, and I gave it all a coat of stove black. Don't really need to do this, but I just thought it might make it look a bit better.
Right, see if this fits. Oh, lovely. Fits in there lovely. Lovely, lovely. I've got to drill a hole in the bottom of that now. And then I've got some of this mild steel tube. And I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom of the fire pot, weld this on, probably cut it down to about here, then I've got to cut a hole in the side and weld this into it to make the air intake for when the bellows goes onto it. So we're going to go and try and drill a hole through this plate now. What an absolute professional! So, all that's left to do now is weld some little tabs of metal across here to make like a fire grate. So I was going to do like a flat for the clinkers, but that's too hard for me to do. So another way of doing it is put 2 bits across here to make like a little grill essentially, stop all the coal falling down, and then I just rake them out and get the clinkers out with the with a little fire raker. And yeah, all the air intake's ready in there. Apart from that, just got to get welding. Also, I've got to cover my arms this time as well, because I don't know if you can see, that's pure red on the inside of my arm there, from where I was welding the other day and leaning down like this with my arm exposed. You get sunburn. I should have realised, if it burns your eyes, then of course it's going to burn your skin. So yeah, arc arm. I've got a mild case of arc arm, so let's get going on that. Right, so I've had a good idea. Severity. I have to get some airflow while I've got the fire going. I've just got some of these pipe inserts, they're for dust extractors, and that's going to go in there like that. The other end goes on here, and then I've got a Milwaukee vacuum which blows air. So I was thinking, plug her in, although this is on suck at the moment, so that'll be doing the reverse and sucking air in. Put it on the blower and see if I've got like a little battery bellows. It looks quite good in there. Just got to get a little wood fire going in there to start it off. I've got some red cedar bits here, so hopefully this is quite easy to get going. So we haven't got the right coal yet. I need to order some coke fuel, but we got this smokeless house coal, but I know it's the wrong stuff, but we're going to try it anyway, because we can't wait around. We need to see if this fire pot works. Get a few bits in there. Then I'll start cooking up, and then I'll bring the anvil and that round, I suppose. See if we can speed up this process.
What I have created!
Back in the heat. There we have one fire rake. That allows me to get in and move these coals about a bit better. And what I've got here is an old file that I'm going to turn into a knife. I already started ages ago on the gas fire, but I want to see if it will heat a higher carbon steel, so we're going to get that. Try and bury it down in there like that. Make some of this over. Bury it in there with a little fire rake, and then see if that heats up.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how it heated up this old file, because it's a higher carbon steel, and I hadn't even got the right fuel in it, so it's just house coal in there, so I was actually quite surprised at how well it heated it up. It's not a yellow heat, it's just like a more of a red when it comes out, but with the right fuel and the proper bellows on there, I mean this is fine for what I need for right now, this little blower, but with the right fuel I think that blower would probably work a treat anyway, so but I'm going to get a proper bellows for it, like a hand crank one, and put that on. But yeah, this is all for this week. I'm going to carry on with the forge build next week, so if you like this video, please remember to click the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you want to see the future projects. Thanks for watching.